if I was to guess, we've probably owned about 250 cars.
Can I tell you a story? Those guys have got Tina Turner sat on the back seat. The salesperson just couldn't figure it out. The very next day, we basically opened our own real estate firm.
When you decelerate, the car does not slow down. And if you've never driven one, it's almost scary.
It's hard to imagine.
He contacted us, said, okay, I'm selling it, you can have it. So I transferred the money, all of the money. He said, I'm really sorry, but I've changed my mind.
But what is the chances of that happening?
The only one in the UK and the only one in the US.
This is so unbelievable.
What if your love for cars wasn't just about the thrill of the ride, but also the key to an extraordinary lifestyle? Today, we're driving into a world where passion meets opportunity, where rare cars aren't just collector's items, but are a gateway to an extraordinary experience, meaningful connections, and a life well lived. My guests today are Kevin and Rich. They started with motorcycles, built a successful business, and now have taken their love for machines to the next level, immersing themselves in the high-energy world of luxury cars. From rare finds to elite gatherings, they've turned this passion into an incredible lifestyle filled with adventures, friendships, and moments that most of us can only dream of. So buckle up. This episode is all about great company, great people, great finds, and a passion that Kevin and Rich have. Kevin and Rich, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you, Marty.
So from Bentleys, started with bikes. Your journey started with motorcycles, but now luxury cars are at the center of your world. What was the moment when you first realized that this would be part of your lifestyle?
Well, Rich has always been interested in cars from being a young boy. In fact, your bedroom wall had pictures of all his cars on.
Yeah.
I often remember him telling me, and Rich, we have owned every single one of those cars, and Rolls-Royces, Jaguars, etc.
Yeah, it's always been I've had a big bucket list of cars that I've wanted to own, and fortunately I've been able to do that. But, over the years, it's provided us with a really good social life as well. And we've been in many car clubs and still are. And it takes us all over the world on different rallies and, different levels of people, because we have cars that are, that are maybe only a few £1,000s or dollars, and yet we have cars that are worth considerably more. And each make of car, gives you a different group of people that, that you can enjoy. And one isn't better than the other, is it? You can be in a Rolls-Royce club, or you can be in a Mini club, and they're all good fun, but they're also very different.
So these different cars that you've had have kind of opened the doors for you for these various groups that you enjoy being with.
Sure, that's right. And like I say, it takes us all over the world. I mean, this year alone, we are going to, we're going abroad to the continent about 3 times, Belgium, Germany, and so on.
Very good. So what's the rarest car you've owned?
Probably is the Auto Union. There's one right behind us. I don't know if you can see it.
Tell us about that. Why is that so rare?
It's a rare car because they didn't make many. Well, actually, I've just remembered the rarest car we've ever owned isn't that one. It's a car called a Jensen SV8. And we had chassis number 1, so 00001. And they only made 12 of those cars before they unfortunately went bust. And then they made some with fiberglass panels after the event, and made about 50 altogether. But anyway, they only ever really made 12 proper ones in the factory, and we had one of one, didn't we? We have actually sold it because we've been reducing our collection in the UK a bit now.
And also, I mean, that wasn't even straightforward, because that was the only one that went abroad. So we sourced it, it was in Germany. We contacted the owner and persuaded him to sell it to us. And so we went over to Germany, like we've done several times, to buy cars. And you know, that was an adventure all in itself, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Just trying to get that car, like I say, took us abroad. And
So are you good negotiators?
well, Kevin is. Yeah.
Well, I was a motorcycle salesperson first, and then I set up my own motorcycle business when I was 19. That was my hobby, my life. And so I built up a motorcycle business, but met Rich, and Rich loved cars, and I liked cars as well. But anyway, it became our hobby of collecting cars and joining car clubs and having classic cars and going all over. A couple of our very early trips, I remember we went in a Lancia Beta Spider, it was, wasn't it? And we went all across France and Switzerland, and in the snow and everything. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so that was one of our very early trips. Another trip, we went in a Triumph Spitfire that we'd had restored, and we were waiting for the roof to come, and the roof didn't come by the time this tour happened. So we were driving along, we were holding an umbrella each on this car.
And it rained every single day.
Of course it rained. Yes, of course.
Do you have pictures of that? I'd love to see
Actually,
those.
I would love to see them, but we haven't.
Yeah.
It was so long ago
Yeah.
that, you know,
that
we haven't.
That was in the early
unfortunately.
days.
Very good.
I would like that.
And now we sometimes trailer our cars if it's a really long way, like the Auto Union. If we have to go down to Austria or somewhere like that, we might trailer it to the event and then drive it around. But actually, we're driving it to the one that we own in the UK. We're driving it to Belgium this year, aren't we, for their annual rally? Yeah.
How many cars do you have now?
I would say about 16.
Okay. And do you feel that car collecting now is more about passion, or is it investment?
Oh, it's certainly not investment, because I don't think we've ever made any money. We've always lost on cars, and only because, you know, we buy what we're passionate about and not to make an investment. And so like I said earlier, that, you know, you have a bucket list, most are from your youth, and it certainly isn't about making money. And in fact, if you restore a car, then you're guaranteed to lose money. You're better off to buy one already done.
You need to find a really nice car to buy one at a reasonable price, because if something seems cheap, it's going to cost you 3 or 4 times.
It's never cheap in the end.
Because we like our cars to be nice, really nice condition, as close to new as possible, really. And I mean, Rich, for example, wanted a special Triumph Stag. And we had a really nice Stag, but we didn't want to own 2, so we sold our really nice Stag. We've been spending money on the one that he wanted ever since. It's actually a rare one because it's a
prototype.
Chassis number 6, car number 2, I think, isn't it? Car number 2. So it's a prototype car with handmade wings and things like that.
Yeah.
And, so it's rare, but cost us a lot of money.
That's great. You mentioned about Rich. You had cars on your walls, pictures of cars growing up.
I've got that picture, actually. That is one picture I've got.
It's something we have in common. My dad was in the automobile business, and I have all of these promotional cars that I still have today. They were free and given out with new cars here in the States, and now they're collector's items. But I've gone through and said, well, I want to drive one of those, and I want to drive one of those. So it does drive you from your early childhood to the fun things we can do today.
It does, you know, and I was an absolute fanatic. I'm not a fanatic now, but can I tell you a story? I've just suddenly thought of this story. And this is so unbelievable. It's hard to imagine. When I was a little kid, and I'd be out with my mum and dad, and we would go to wherever, the seaside or what have you. And in actual fact, we was going one day to the seaside, and it was about 60 miles from where we lived. And in that town, that seaside town, there was a Lancia, or Lancia, as you say over here, car showroom. And I remember saying to my dad, can you stop the car, and would you go in and get me a brochure? And then I would take the brochure apart, put it on the wall, and all that. Well, years went by, and when I met Kevin, and he lived in a different town to me, and it happened to be this seaside town that he lived, that I went to with my mum and dad. And he said, I've got this motorcycle showroom. And he said, I'm going to show you it today. We went, and he had bought that Lancia showroom that we still own today. And that's the actual showroom that I went in with my mum and dad to get that brochure when I was a kid. And yet it was nowhere near where I lived. I mean,
Wow. Small world.
we've got that today. Isn't that an amazing
And you own it
coincidence?
now, so isn't that great?
It's not a car showroom now because over the years it's become something else. But what is the chances of that happening?
We just rent it out now. That's
Isn't that
all.
amazing?
So,
Very good,
yeah.
that is.
Yeah. Anyway, a little bit of trivia there.
That is.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great story.
Yeah.
So you all are great entertainers. So when you're throwing a party or investing in a car or buying a car, maybe we shouldn't use that term investment, and having the passion of having that, I think details matter. Why do those details matter so much to you when selecting a car or in deciding what kind of party or the type of party or the people that you are inviting?
Well, Marty, I don't know. It's just your DNA, isn't it? You're either a fanatic and you want everything to be just right. I mean, I think we're very different on that respect.
Well, Rich has
Kevin would let things go. He's easygoing. I've got to have everything.
He has to have
right.
the right colour, the right wheels, the right everything.
Yeah.
And if I find a car in really beautiful condition, it's not the same colour, I would still go, I would prefer to buy one which is not the same colour, but anyway, I would have
to have every little nut and bolt would have to be just how I wanted it. And it's the same with a party, just details matter. But that is just, if you're that type of person or you're not. And probably it's a good thing that we're both different. Otherwise, you'd go crazy.
You probably go really crazy with all the details.
Correct.
Yes.
You would. Yeah, it's not a good formula.
And I'm sure, Kevin, you've learned to let him run with the details, and you go, yes, that's great.
I do. I try and get whatever he wants.
I know that's what I have to do in my relationship, because if you don't, it's World War III.
Yeah, good point.
Smart people. So you've obviously been successful in business. And to do the things that you're doing, traveling, the cars, homes in different places. What do you think is the key for success in business?
Just looking after every customer as you would like to be looked after yourself, which often doesn't happen. It really doesn't. You go into these places these days, and if you want to buy something like an electrical goods or a motor part or whatever, it seems that whoever's selling you the item, they don't really know anything about it whatsoever. If you ask some technical questions, or you say, do I need this type of electrical component or thing for my car or bike, or do I need this type? Which one do I need? Often they don't really know. And I used to race bikes as a kid. I was a schoolboy motocrosser, and I'm also fairly mechanical minded, and to me, a person walking into our showroom or one of our showrooms wanting to spend £1 or $1, or somebody who wanted to spend 10,000, they're equally as important, because you just never know. Tomorrow might be the day when they come to spend the 10,000. And anyway, I just think just look after everyone as you would like to be looked after yourself. And if you do that, people will keep coming back to you and they will be loyal. And that's what happened with us.
And can I add something to that also? Sure. Is when Kevin sold the motorcycle business and we moved to the south of England, and we decided to buy a house, and we went into a real estate agent, as you'd say here, or estate agent we say. And I'll never forget, we walked into this office and the salesperson just couldn't figure it out. He said, well, I just don't get it. He said, is this house for you, or is it for you?
Because we were both asking questions.
And I'm thinking, how can he possibly not get it that we're buying the house together? We went home that night and we said, here we are in this city where and we said, we can do a better job of this. And because we didn't think we got treated like we should have been treated. And we thought that's a missed opportunity in this town. And the very next day, we basically opened our own real estate firm.
Oh,
Right.
Well,
and we, marketed
the very next day we decided to open our own real estate firm. I sourced an office, a shop.
Yeah.
I bought a shop with a flat over it. We rented the flat out. We remodeled the shop. Didn't take long at all, and we were in business again. After I'd retired from the motorcycle industry, I became an estate agent stroke realtor. Alongside the bike business, I was buying properties, and we were remodeling and renting them. So we had a little portfolio of properties, and we were used to buying and selling. And frankly, I just thought, well, I think I can do a better job than what we've experienced here. So we opened very quickly, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that business took off, I'm pleased to say. So after 18 months, I then opened a rental company, or we opened a rental company. We ended up with 3 offices throughout the city, all owned by us, and then we paid all our staff. It's different in the UK to the US. So everyone's paid, no one is self-employed. They get a commission as well, but the pay is enough to live on. And anyway, we sold that business after 7 years to a couple of business guys from New York, didn't we?
Yeah.
So that was a
Well, that's because we felt that we wasn't
Yeah.
offered the service that
that's the reason why we did
people
it.
should get.
but it's great.
Yeah.
Clearly you live by the idea that you want to be treated the way other people should be treated the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
But you're also, it sounds like part of the key to that is being aware of what opportunities may be out there for you. And that's probably whether buying a car, buying a motorcycle business, or in the real estate business.
Yeah.
So what's next? Where's the next opportunity?
Well, I think we're fairly happily retired now, aren't we? So not really
I don't know if
looking,
there'll be any more opportunities.
not really looking to open
And
another
you've got
business.
to know when you've reached the level you're happy with. And, I think we've got everything that we want. I don't think we're not striving for more. The secret in life, isn't it, is to know when you've reached where you need to be.
Yeah.
And you're enjoying what you're doing. And perhaps
Yeah.
that next opportunity is the next great idea for a party.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
We're more,
just make sure I'm
we're more
invited.
interested in that than
we will.
than a business
Well,
opportunity.
to be honest, we could be wealthier. We could be much wealthier. But I think we have enough. We have a blessed life. We have a fantastic lifestyle. I think it really suits us. We live 6 months in the UK, 6 months in the US. Well, slightly less, of course, in the US. And we have the
ICE
best
is
of
listening,
both
so
worlds.
it's less than 6 months.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
They're
Yes,
here
yeah.
legally, folks.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
and
Legally,
yes,
not
legally.
not illegal.
We're legal.
Yeah, not
Legally,
illegal. Yes,
Sure.
good.
Yeah.
We got past that.
Yeah.
That's great. Good deal. ICE is just around the corner everywhere now. We talked about parties a little bit, and you have a reputation here in Fort Lauderdale of giving some of the greatest parties and then going to many parties. And we met through my partner because you had known Michael for a number of years before. And when I moved to Fort Lauderdale, one of my first memories of meeting you is here at your gorgeous house in a fantastic party. We strive to give parties, but I'm not sure that they rise to the level of the Kevin and Rich extravaganzas. So we appreciate coming so often. But how do you put together that great guest list?
I think the thing is the most important thing is not promoting that guest list on media like Facebook or something like that, and because you don't want people that aren't invited to feel that they're missing out. I think that's the thing. I think that's really important.
And you can't invite everybody.
You can't invite
anyway,
everybody, and you don't want to.
But we know an awful lot of people here, literally hundreds actually, which is great. We love our lifestyle here, so we can't invite hundreds of people every time. So it is true that if we have a small dinner party, we select certain guests who we think really would get on with each other and have a nice conversation. Or if we have a party for 50, 60, 70 people with a theme, Again, we try and make it a fun thing. Rich is fantastic at decorating the house for whatever party it is. And we just go to a lot of trouble, a lot of effort to try and get the right people here. And I think you do a good job of
Within
it.
our means.
Yes, within our means,
You know,
yeah.
you can always do a better party, can't you? And, you know, but we do what we think we can do within our means.
There you go.
Yeah.
For those simple parties that you do for 70, 100 people. Right? It
Yeah, I
happens.
guess.
It's great.
We do what we can do.
No, it's great.
We have a great time, and it's like a snowball effect here. When we first moved here 20 odd years ago, when I say moved, we're part-time residents here. We love our time here, but you know, you meet a few people, it's like a snowball rolling down a hill. People know people, and there's just more and more people. And in actual fact, your partner Michael, he introduced us to quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
We actually, well, I set up a social group for guys, and you know, to meet each other. And
In Fort Lauderdale.
nothing funny, by the way. It's just you just go and have a drink, have a meal, and you know, just become friends, really. So it's just only a social group, and that set up quite nicely, didn't it?
Yeah.
And did that quite a long time, and then COVID came along and it kind of stopped, and we couldn't get the place. But by then we knew a hell of a lot of people anyway, so we didn't need to continue it.
And in actual fact, your partner, Michael, I think hosted the largest parties I've ever been to here. You know,
Yeah.
his parties were
I know he had the opening season party
his
right on the
parties
rooftop of his
were
condo building.
gigantic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
And you guys do great
Black Friday.
parties as well. It's not just us. I mean,
Yeah.
we go to very nice parties. We think we do good parties, but we do go to very nice parties.
Yeah,
here as well, don't we?
absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, I know Michael had was the Black Friday party, the Friday after Thanksgiving, because
Yeah.
Right.
folks start coming in from up north and overseas,
Right.
and it was fun. And you know,
Right.
it's interesting. I'm a Miami guy moving up to Fort Lauderdale, and the social scene is very different there. And here it seems to be that people are invited, and then they want to reciprocate that and try and do that, and it's difficult if you have a big gathering, and then to reciprocate how many dinner parties can you do to get all those
That's
people
right.
back.
Yeah.
But I think it's a wonderful thing that people are concerned about that, and that they want to give back and they want to share, and like you do, you prepare most of the food for your parties, and
All of it.
it's a really special touch. So it's a great thing. In these parties, you know, how do you make those meaningful connections with people? Where is your success in all of that?
One thing that makes our parties work is that we are very relaxed hosts. And, you know, we really do want people to be comfortable in our home. And, you know, if there was like, you know, someone broke anything in this place, we wouldn't even give it a thought, you know, and everyone should feel they're at home.
Yeah, they
And
need to be comfortable.
That's the secret, really. I think, you know, people
Yeah.
are relaxed and, you know, treat it like their own.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, I think people come here and they just feel like it is
Yeah.
our home
you
rather
know.
than you know.
They're not frightened
like a-
of, you know,
like a showroom.
doing this, that, or the other.
If you
know.
go into someone's place, it's like a showroom. You think, oh crikey, you can't drop a crumb or something.
Yeah, I mean, we
our
we
place-
don't want to go to parties like that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And well, you certainly are laid back when it comes to
Yeah, I
hosting
think,
it.
I think we're very laid back on everything.
It's
you know.
amazing. You come here and you're busy cooking in there, and the food is all laid out, and it's wonderful. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you've got this going on and that going on, and you're busy saying, well, Marty, what's happening here? And you know, and you all have just such a great way.
Yeah,
about
I mean, if
Yeah.
you're stressed out, you're going to put the stress onto the guests.
Yeah, no.
And I don't feel that, I mean, you know me pretty well. I don't think I get stressed out doing anything.
Rich
really.
works very hard.
You know.
He cooks all the food.
Kevin stresses you out, but parties
I stress
don't.
him
Yes,
out.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah,
He cooks all the food. I do the majority of the drinks and some running around, fetching and carrying and stuff like that, and just trying to basically make sure everything's okay and everyone's having a good time. And usually they do. But you're right about reciprocation. I think, did I say it right? I think it's nice if we get invited back to something. It doesn't have to be a huge party. That's important to us now. When we were younger, we used to have 120 or more people, and we would just say hello as they walked in and goodbye as they walked out because we're so busy, basically. But it was funny because some of them would say, oh, we've had a wonderful time. We'll see you at your next party. And so after a while, you think, why are we doing this to some people?
But don't you think
these people can afford their own food, right?
Yes, exactly.
Don't you think we all do the same thing, though? I mean, you're our age, and we're on the way up, aren't we? And we do things for the sake of doing it sometimes. And, it's all about, in the early days, you want to do bigger and better, and it's all about numbers. And then you reach that age in life where it's not about the numbers. It's about quality and having quality friends. And I think that's why the parties reduce, because anyone can fill a house with 100 people, whatever, can't you? But it doesn't make for a good party. But I think it's just what we all go through at different ages. And, I think it gets better. I'm at the happiest now with the way we do it, because it's not about bigger and better. Right. It's about quality.
Brings me to my next thought. If I've heard these questions before, if you could have lunch or dinner with anyone, living or dead. So my question to you is, if you could have a party anywhere in the world, who would be the people that you'd like to invite? Where would it be? And tell us a little bit about that.
You can answer that one.
Now, when you say that question, are you talking about inviting people?
Besides me, of course, yes.
But living or dead.
Are you talking about like celebrities and
whoever you
anybody you want? Yeah, no, living or dead too.
Well, the all dead. But I think, I would love to have people like Elvis Presley and Liberace and these, real showman type people that, I don't know, I mean,
Madonna.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be Madonna, but I don't know again if it was the fact that years ago the people seemed much larger than life back then to what they do now, or is it because we're not so impressed by people again as you get older? Maybe, but there doesn't seem to be the characters that there was from our youth. But maybe there is. Maybe it's because we change.
You'd have George Michael, wouldn't you?
I would love to have George Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, well, he's not. Well, he's dead.
All of us would really like to have had George Michael. But it's another story.
Well, at least he's not. He wasn't ancient, was he? But I guess they're my three: Elvis, Liberace, and George Michael would be the three people I would want. I would love to have them here and entertain them and what have you.
It'd be a fun party, and I'm glad I was on the list. So this
exactly.
Is good.
How about you?
Prince, Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Michael Jackson.
He's talking about celebrities and.
I am really. It's probably nobody in particular. Like I'd have to have more time to think about.
We'll come
other
back
characters
to it at another time. How's that? Kevin, you said that Rich does most of the food, but I know you're continually asking people about if they want another drink or something. And you are known as the espresso martini king. And so what's your secret to that perfect espresso martini?
Well, I do try with my espresso martinis. I don't like them too sweet. A lot of people put sugar syrup in and shake the shaker. If you put a lot of sugar syrup in, it gives a beautiful foam. It looks good, but it's so sweet. So I always used to love using Godiva chocolate liqueur, but you can't buy it anymore. So I used to put a little bit of that in. What's the other thing? Kahlua. So Kahlua, Godiva chocolate liqueur, obviously espresso, and a nice vodka, and really shake it and shake it and shake it, and then make a beautiful cold drink, and then the dirty ice on the side. I always like the dirty ice in a separate glass with a spoon so you can put it in. It lasts longer and tastes great. So
that's great. No, I know that you take the time to figure that out, and that you have all of this equipment here, how to chill a glass and all of that. So those of us who can come by and enjoy it, it's great. So we haven't talked about the other member of your family who is walking around here someplace. But tell us about Dylan. When did you first get Dylan? And you need to tell everyone who Dylan is.
Well, Dylan's a 5-year-old royal poodle, actually. And I say royal poodle because he is a standard poodle, but once a standard gets over a certain height, they become a royal poodle.
So I would expect nothing less from you guys.
Nothing less. So he's particularly tall. He's a particularly big dog. And he travels back and forth with us from the UK to here.
So Dylan, you need to stand so everyone can see
Dylan,
you.
Stand.
Very good boy. Well, there we go.
Is he gorgeous?
That's it, sit.
Oh my gosh.
Good
and
boy.
now you travel everywhere with him.
Yeah, he pretty much goes everywhere. I mean, he loves the car and he loves the attention.
We have to say CAR, actually.
Yeah,
Because if you say it...
It will be bad. Yes.
I think he just missed it then because it was a string of words.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And in actual fact, when we go to a rally, a car rally, it will be the dog that people remember, not us. You know, they come up to us and say, oh, God, you're the guys with the dog. It's not you're the guys with that car or, you know, you or me or whatever. And
well, I bet he looks pretty good in the back seat of that Bentley convertible,
yeah,
doesn't he? Yes.
he does.
He does.
He does.
Matches
And
the interior.
one of the most funniest remarks we ever had, we had a chocolate brown one of these, standard poodle, prior to this one. And we was in a convertible car and we was driving through this little tiny village. And
in England.
Yeah, and this standard poodle had a huge brown, quiff. We heard these people shout, hey, look at that. Those guys have got Tina Turner sat on the back seat. Because of the brown
hair,
huge,
sure, yes.
Looked like one of Tina's.
Just looked like Tina.
Looked like Tina.
Well,
and that
you
was
are
one of the
gorgeous.
funniest things I ever heard.
And Dylan's off now.
He's off.
Okay, he's
to
gone.
see other things and do
that's
other
okay.
things. But no, Dylan's a special part. And he travels with you by plane or boat, however you go back and forth to England, right?
Yes, either way, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
And this year you're going back by a ship,
By
right?
ship this time,
So-
yes.
That's right,
And,
Southampton.
It's interesting to note that one of the reasons for going back on the ship is because you bring a couple little things back with you.
Well, that's true. I mean, we've never took so much stuff back as this
we
time.
have so much luggage, and it's not just luggage. I mean, we've got ornaments and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
haven't we?
yeah.
That we're
And
taking
did
back,
I-
yeah.
I think
and
we've
then
got 10 suitcases and at least 8 gigantic boxes. I mean, it's pretty exceptional, that is.
Well, and one is a model of the Lamborghini
Correct.
SUV.
That's
Correct,
right. Yes.
yeah.
Very good.
I mean, which
Yeah.
is just crazy
Yeah.
to...
A very good friend bought us a Lamborghini Urus as a what do you call it? Like a child's toy.
Yes, a child's toy.
Yeah, it's remote control. It's electronic, but a little child can sit in it and drive it. Anyway, he bought that in the same color as the one that we've ordered. That should be here for our next season, shouldn't it, in the UK?
Correct.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, it obviously you're always buying new things. So this is the next car coming in is the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And it'll be about the color of these chairs.
Absolutely right.
Very
yeah.
good. You love green.
Lime
It's
green.
going to be good.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's lime green, orange, and shiny black, really. Isn't it?
Very
Yeah.
good. This is car number
We
what?
actually have lost count, and we haven't got a complete list. But if I was to guess, we've probably owned about 250 cars.
Yeah.
And we've actually been reducing our collection over the last 3 or 4 years now, haven't we? So
Yeah.
we've got down to manageable numbers now. But all the cars that we've ever owned, we haven't bought them to sell them. We bought them because we don't like them. We love them. We love our cars. So we buy them because we love them. And we intend to keep them, don't we? But we can't keep every car. So.
And so the reason for slimming down the collection is what?
Well, I can tell you what a big reason is. One that is
Come on.
keeping them clean. I mean, I've always kept them clean, and you lose the interest in laying on the floor and putting your hands through the wheels and, cleaning all the back. That's me being a fanatic again. I mean, I can't just wash a wheel. I have to wash behind the wheel. And, the older you get, the harder that becomes. And sure, I mean, if I had someone that was going to be doing it for me, maybe I would look at it differently.
There you go.
And but right now, yeah.
But you guys are pretty hands-on, yes. And that's
hands-on, but
and
I don't know if I want to be hands-on forever.
And I always do some very, basic mechanical stuff, very basic. I mean, batteries and things like that. And now we live 6 months here and 6 months there. I was spending so much of my time just getting all the different cars running and getting them up together again.
Good point.
And by the time I finish, then we get on a plane or a ship and come over here again, either backwards or forwards, don't we? Mm-hmm. No barking. He's just in a dog or something, so no barking.
He's
good boy.
Taking good care of his parents there. So is there an ideal number that you're working towards for number of cars in your collection?
Absolutely, and I can answer that because what I would like now is for every car to be garaged at home. And if it can't be garaged at home, I don't want it. Because, you go to somewhere where the car is, 5 miles down the road or something.
We used to have storage units all over the place, all these different cars. You have to take the right key. Whatever vehicle you drive there in, you have to park that one in the place of the one that you've gone to collect. The one that you've gone to collect probably won't go because it's been sat there for a while. It was a headache, wasn't it? So
we've got a 6-car garage in the UK, 4-car garage here. That's what I want. 10 cars.
Just 10 cars.
10 cars undercover.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well,
so we're working to that.
We're working down towards
that. We're working to that.
Which will be or is a very small collection, but that's more than enough for anybody, really.
Sure.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
It's exciting. What was the first car that you bought?
Me? Crikey. It must have been my Reliant Supervan Mark III. That sounds luxurious, doesn't it? It was a free-wheeled vehicle and I could drive it on a motorbike license, and I even had a trailer on it with a couple of motorbikes on the back of it when I was 16, 17. So, but my first four-wheeled car would have probably been, I'm pretty sure it was a Triumph Herald. And then, well, when you're young, you get quite a few cars because you buy one and you sell one. So I had a thing called a Wartburg with a 3-cylinder 2-stroke engine. I loved that car. They're all kind of a little quirky. What about you, Rich?
I know what mine was.
MG.
Mine was a 1976 MG
I knew it was an
midget
MG.
Convertible.
Oh, very nice.
Which I bought for £1,500, second-hand, obviously.
But that's a much better car than I started off
All
in.
I wanted was to have a convertible. And that was it, really. And,
So virtually the Bentley convertible behind us is kind of the same thing as that MG early on.
Yeah, but again,
just a little bigger.
It is, but, youth versus money, I think... yourself, because I keep saying we're the same age, that car, that MG at 17 is probably,
you remember it forever.
It is so fantastic.
So wonderful, right?
To going out and buying something today. It's not the value, is it?
Yeah.
It's having age on your side that makes all the difference.
That's so true. Speaking of age on our side, because we're all about the same age. I think you're being a little kind to me on that, but that's okay, and I appreciate it. So what's the next big thing for you, too? What's happening next?
Well, the next big thing, if you can count it a big thing, will be our 40th anniversary. Does that count?
I think that's a big thing.
I think that's a big thing.
I guess it counts. That's next.
And what are you doing for your 40th anniversary? Is there a trip planned?
Well, hopefully there'll be something. It's not until next year, but I know Kevin wants to go to the Far East, don't you?
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll do something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So
there's bound to be a party or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can be a part of that celebration. So
that would be nice.
And now when you go back to England, do you spend some time at car meets and events in England?
We do, yes. Goodwood is very close to where we live, and so we go there quite a lot. But we go all over the UK to different events, don't we? Different models of cars or different makes of cars have different functions all over the place.
We've easily got
meetings.
15 things planned already.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. That's all booked and done and everything. Yeah.
And we go to Europe as well. We're going to Belgium this year, driving there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Last year I drove to Germany in one of my old cars, and Rich flew there actually because he just had a knee replacement, so he didn't want to sit in the old car for that long.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of shows.
And 2026 we've even got stuff booked.
Oh, really?
We're going to Chantilly in France.
Yeah.
They have the most incredible concours event at this chateau that was featured in the James Bond movie A View to a Kill.
Really?
It is the most beautiful setting. I mean, everyone's heard of Chantilly, haven't they? Chantilly lace and all that. And it's beautiful. But again, just like I was saying to you, we can take a ferry within 10 minutes of where we live and be over in France. And then, I'm not kidding, it's like a 3-hour drive to Chantilly. So it's like on the doorstep, and
Pretty
it's
easy,
so
yeah.
foreign, isn't it, to think that you're over there, you know, on the other side of the road.
And you're traveling to a different country. We just don't.
Traveling to a different country.
Driving on the other side of the road.
And it's just so easy.
So what car will you take to Chantilly?
Well, actually, it'll be perfect because it's an auto union, so it's a left-hand drive. So the minute we go over to France, we're on the right side of the road.
How nice, yes.
For that car.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's the car that's the only one that's in Europe?
Yeah, the only one in the UK.
Yeah, the only one in the UK.
And then we've got this car here. Actually, that's the only one in the US.
Good
so
boy.
I think I'm probably, I don't know if I'm the only person in the world to own 2 of them, because there's not many left at all. But anyway, we've only owned the only one in the UK and the only one in the US. It's my thing, really, the auto union. I love it. It's really quirky. 3-cylinder, 2-stroke, and very awkward to drive. Well, not awkward, but different to drive, isn't it, Rich?
Yeah.
There's no engine braking. When you decelerate, the car does not slow down. And if you've never driven one, it's almost scary, especially if you're on a little downhill section, approaching a roundabout or something. You take your foot off the accelerator, the car doesn't slow down at all. It just coasts. It has a freewheel device on it, so it's like putting your clutch in on a
Oh, really?
on a manual gearbox. It's just like depressing the clutch, so the car just continues to go. So you have to use
You have to be
brakes.
prepared for that, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Speaking of 3 wheels and 3-wheeled cars, I hear that you have a new vehicle at your home in England. You have to tell the audience a little bit about that 3-wheeled vehicle and where it's located at your home in England.
Well, that's partly for decoration, or mainly for decoration, because our house in England, it's a 3-story house on the ocean front. And so we live on the 2nd floor. You guys would say that's the middle floor. And anyway, it's a fairly big lounge, but our colours are orange and grey, isn't it? But orange anyway. Yeah. And Bug make this beautiful little orange 3-wheel car. We've got a picture of it somewhere. Looks like a piece of cheese. It's triangular shaped, isn't it? And the whole front of the car lifts up so you can get in it. It's just a 2-seater. It's a very unusual little car. Anyway, Rich's idea. Yeah, it's 1970s, by the way.
Yeah, it's a cult type car. But, you know, to us, you know, cars are a piece of art.
Yes.
Especially the older ones. And rather than go and buy an expensive painting, I'd rather look at that car.
Yeah, that's right. We also have a couple of motorbikes in the house as well, you know, an unusual scooter. And Rich is right. We look at them like a piece of art. I think these things here are just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Whereas other people would look at a boat, maybe, or a painting, or some, you know, a sculpture.
We get more benefit from that.
Yeah.
And our previous home, we had 2 cars in the kitchen, in actual fact. And so that was more of a talking point than this one in the lounge.
We had a Mini Cooper and a Fiat 500 in the kitchen, didn't we?
Yeah.
But kind of the interesting point of this car in your lounge now is that it's on the 2nd floor. It's not one you just drove into the house.
Well, it wasn't
right?
easy. I mean, it became an ordeal in the end. I mean, what set out to be a straightforward thing just was, it was a nightmare.
When we sell the house, it will say bond bug for sale, including a house.
Yeah.
Won't it?
Well,
because we won't want to take the thing out again.
I honestly thought, because he's mechanical, I thought he would be able to take the engine out. We could get half a dozen guys to lift the body up and carry it upstairs.
Yeah, right.
And that's how I thought, oh, that's, that'll be easy. And it went from that to having to have an iron box made for the car to drive into, for the crane to lift it, and then the balcony glass all got broke because it was glued in. And believe me, it was a major thing.
This will be a permanent fixture in your home. I imagine this one won't be one of the ones that you trade out regularly.
No, I think that car is going to be included with the house.
Yeah, I see. Yes,
it does look nice though. Yeah. Yes, it's an unusual talking point. Isn't it?
Michael and I just bought a condominium here in Fort Lauderdale, and we thought the big feature was a grand piano because they didn't want to move this. You've gone to levels way above that. So congratulations on that. I'm sure it looks great. I hope to someday see it. So,
and you can sit in it and watch TV.
Oh, really?
If you run out of chairs.
Very good. Well, seating for two more.
Yeah.
Great for parties. Yeah. So, I was doing a little research and talk before I came to join you today, and I see that the most expensive classic car that's been sold in recent years was a gull-wing Mercedes.
Oh, right.
In a 1955, and it sold for $143 million.
Really?
And so what is the most precious car that you've had?
Nothing anywhere near that value.
Well, not of that value anyway, that's for sure.
But you see, precious to me wouldn't really be monetary.
It's not monetary.
To be honest.
So what's precious then?
Again, it all comes down to getting
it's the enjoyment,
the right thing at the right age.
The enjoyment that it gives you.
Yeah.
And, when I'm driving this little quirky car outside here with Rich sat next to me and Dylan in the back, that's the most precious moments to me. It's not about money, is it?
No. And it's not necessarily even about the car, is it?
Yeah.
I think, it's like...
Having said that, this car, the Bentley there, is worth probably more. And it gives you, a very satisfying feeling traveling along in a Bentley. I mean, people seem to like that, don't they? Other people looking in sort of thing.
Yeah, it's great.
Does that sound bad? But anyway,
and if you've got a car that
we enjoy it.
Wins you a nice award, that gives you a feel-good factor, makes you feel good about that vehicle because, you've got that. But like I keep harping back to really is the ones that have been the most precious would be that car that you can barely afford or, several people wanted that car and you ended up with it. And, and you're the one who's driving home in it that day. And they're all special moments. And, it's not a money thing or anything like that. It's just, if you really want something and you're able to get it.
That's right. I think,
which you can't do with a brand new vehicle. You can only do that with a used vehicle because anyone can go out and buy a new vehicle if they're in a position to.
I think you asked me earlier which was our rarest car, and at the time I said it was the Jensen SV8. And what Rich is telling you, how difficult it is to buy a car sometime. We bought that car from a gentleman in Germany, and it was a long, protracted backwards and forwards, different reasons about why he didn't want to sell it, and then, well, maybe I will, and all this. And in the end, he decided. We were actually in California. He contacted us, okay, I'm selling it. You can have it, okay? So I transferred the money, all of the money, without even seeing the car because I didn't want to lose it.
To Germany?
Yeah, we sent him the money and then we traveled back to the UK. I started to arrange for shipping, etc. And then I contacted him to say, this is going to be a shipping company and all that. And he said, I'm really sorry, but I've changed my mind. And he said, I just cannot let that car go.
And he had all the money.
It's chassis number one, and I don't want to let it go. And he said, I'm going to send you your money back, and I know you'll be disappointed with me and all this lot. And we thought, crikey. Anyway, it took several days, didn't it, before the money came back. So we were worried about the money, but more than anything, we wanted the car. So some people would never contact the guy again after he did that, because let's face it, he agreed to sell it to us. He even got the money and then said no. But I kept in touch with him for about a further 2 years, backwards and forwards. Hi, how are you? This is Kevin and Rich. We've just been to a car show. Here's some pictures of our car show. Thought you might be interested. And just keeping a rapport going and going. And in the end, he bought a Jensen Interceptor that he wanted to restore. Probably wanted the money or the garage space. And he finally sold it to us, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that took a long time.
So that is like, it's stories like that.
So that's precious to get the car.
Absolutely. You worked at it for a long time.
Yeah.
However, we sold it.
So
after all that,
you had it for a while.
After all that, we sold
but
it.
we did have it for a few years.
But we had the benefit of it.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah, and that car, in actual fact, they've all got stories.
We went to Hampton Court in it, and Prince Michael came and looked at the car.
Oh, really?
He did.
We've got some photos of him looking at the car, and he knew what the car was, which surprised me.
He did his homework.
He's a car guy. I don't know if you know what Prince Michael is. And he said, wow, an SV8, Jensen SV8. And I said, yeah, and I stood there chatting with him.
So that car got us into that concourse at Hampton Court, which we wouldn't have done without it. So again, it gave us, all harping back to what we were saying about it, what did the cars do for you? Well, it got us a wonderful weekend at Hampton Court. And,
very good. Yeah.
But you can't put a value on that, And again, it's not about the value, is it? It's the fact that you've had a wonderful weekend and it was actually that car that got you in there.
Yeah, and I've got the memories, or we've got the memories, and we've got our Prince Michael story, etc. We wouldn't have done that if it hadn't been for the car.
Well, absolutely. So your passion has opened a number of doors for you. And,
that's right.
And doing a kind of your philosophy about treating others the way you want to be treated, it's come back to you and brought you success and brought you happiness and fond memories.
Yeah.
So this is great, and that's what life is all about, right?
And I think if you want to buy something, you should just persevere and try and get it. And if you can do it, you should do it. You're only
if
here
it's
once.
within your means. Of course.
That's what I said. If you can do it, you should do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like when we used to be buying houses and properties. If we agreed and somebody put the price up a little bit, we would just say, well, stuff it then, But we've changed over the years.
Yeah, with age.
If it's something you really want, and if something not nice happens, and if you really want that, then aren't you better to end up with it and just swallow your pride sometimes? People shouldn't do that, obviously. I don't commend it. But anyway, we've changed.
Yeah. Well, you get more pleasure out of having it than
but
whatever the price differential
and you
was.
don't want to dig your heels in and miss out, but you're all principled when you're younger. And I think, again, that's a good thing about getting older, isn't it?
We mellow with
Don't
age.
keep talking about age.
Yes,
So because I feel like I'm 16.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
And you are, aren't you? Yeah, pretty close to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so what do they say in dog ears, right? Is that what we're supposed to say? But no, it's all good. So guys, Dylan is wondering, and so am I, if you had to do this all over again, whether it's car collecting or business, what would you do, and would you do it differently?
I'm happy with everything that we've got and everything that's happened in our lives. Maybe there's a couple of things I may have tried to do slightly differently. Rich remembers every bad thing that's ever happened. So he reminds me of the house that we did not get because we walked away from it, because we agreed a price. The guy put it up, and it got silly, really. He said, I've got someone else who's offered exactly the same, but he's going to pay me £500 for the carpets or things like that. I got so annoyed with it, we walked away from it, and it was Rich's dream house, and we should have bought it.
And that was, again, being principled.
Yes.
And
we were younger.
We thought, how can this person do this? And keep moving the goalposts.
But it's funny how you remember the one bad thing. We've had so many good things happen, haven't we?
And again, the other story is a house story, and I've already mentioned to you because you asked me, you know, who, if we had a party, we'd want to invite, and I said to you, one of the guests would be Liberace. Well, we actually had a contract on Liberace's house in Palm Springs, and we was going to buy that house. And at the time, you know, Kevin hadn't sold his business, and we wasn't sure if we could afford to remodel it or anything, and we actually backed out of that sale
and deal with remodeling it from 4,000 miles away or 5,000 miles away or whatever.
That would have.
You see, I told you can remember every bad thing.
But that was another thing from my youth where it would have been, you know, ticking off a box. It was ticking off a box, and again, it's one of the few things we didn't follow through on, and we should have done. Just to tick a box.
You did it, and you probably would have sold it, and
we would have sold it and all that, and but there's very little I think we would have altered.
But look at all the good things that have happened.
Absolutely, but you know,
I had a little tiny motorcycle dealership with no money, and the local dealer for Kawasaki went bust. Kawasaki came to me and said, could I look after the servicing and the warranty for our customers? Because obviously they needed their customers looking after. I said, sure, no problem at all. But you have to give me the agency. And they almost laughed. And I said, I'm being serious. And they said, well, you know, we're being serious as well. I'm afraid your premises aren't to our standard. It's not big enough. You haven't got the correct facilities, etc. I said, yeah, but you want me to look after your customers, don't you? Right? So I said, give me 6 months, I'll get the right place. And I think, isn't that when we bought the Lancia showroom? I think that was our Kawasaki dealership, wasn't it? Oh, no, it was the other one.
No, it was the other one.
Yeah, we bought a few different places, It was a place next to Ramsden's. That was a stroke of luck. And then we also bought a house, and I looked at the garden and thought, I think I can put another house here. So we got planning permission. And it worked. So that's another stroke of luck. We've had a few strokes of luck.
I think the thing is, you know why the question was, would you have played things differently? And I think really the key thing to remember is everything is about timing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And getting lucky. You know, I mean, we sold out the very last year when people were selling out. If we'd have held out another year, we would never have been bought out.
Yeah, it was luck.
And we wouldn't be, maybe not be even here. Everything, it's not all about being, making the right decisions. It's about getting lucky as well.
Just to explain that a little bit, there was very large car groups in the UK realised that bigger motorcycle dealerships, we were one of the biggest in the UK, were making higher profits, higher percentage profits. So they were buying up big dealerships and chains of motorcycle dealers. And anyway, we just had 3 stores, that was all. But we were a big volume seller. We were doing next day delivery throughout the UK and things like that. And we made quite a name for ourselves, didn't we? Yeah. Anyway, we were bought out, and we had 3 different car dealerships competing to buy us. And we were probably one of the very last ones to get bought out, because the next year everything went down, and unfortunately our business after 18 months was gone and finished after I built it up over 20 years. It was a shame.
And also, like, you know, we came into Fort Lauderdale on a cruise ship one day and was walking around, and we spotted our first house and bought it, and that was our introduction to living here. If we hadn't have been on that ship doing that particular vacation, that would never have happened. So it's fate, isn't it? A lot of it, you know. It's not about, we, you know, had this decision to come over here and buy something. It wasn't like that. It was, you know, it was a spur of the moment thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, but there's luck, and then there's luck and being open to opportunities too, and seeing those things.
Sure, yeah.
So,
that's what I said to you earlier. I'm a great believer in making your own bed, not blaming other people for your own bad decisions, and you know, but you need to do that, and you need a bit of luck as well.
Yeah,
don't you?
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I worked really hard. I really did. But you do need some luck.
There you go.
The other thing I'd like to say is you should all be nice to each other.
There you go.
You should. It helps a lot.
He meant that you are nice to each other.
Yeah.
And you'll
Yeah, we
continue
are.
to be that
We
way.
are.
That was like a cheesy moment.
No, we are nice to each other, I think. And I think that's why we've been together 40 years next year.
Absolutely. Well, I know I feel lucky to have met you two, and
Likewise.
it's all great. So, and
Likewise.
I look to a lot more years together, and
Sure.
being able to rub off some of that readiness and happiness that you all share
Is that right?
to us. Yes. Well, I just appreciate you all taking the time for this, and look forward to going to one of those meets with you in England when we come
Sure,
to visit.
absolutely.
And,
I'm no doubt we will.
we'll keep buying cars
Yeah.
that are like that, and you know, we've had a Bentley, we've had a Corniche. Michael just has, after 3 years waiting and persevering, now has the new Corvette E-Ray,
Yeah.
and he's very excited about
Beautiful.
it. And
I know he's enjoying that.
So
That's
all
great.
of that. In fact, I think it might be in the background of us in a bright yellow car.
Yes,
So,
beautiful.
but it's all good things, and we do get so much enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
And hopefully people who are listening will get that same enjoyment out of following their passion. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
Marty.
Marty. Thank you. It's been fun.
Yes.